All right. So, uh, decided to try something new. For those of you who don't know me, my name is James Kavanaugh, and I manage a software security engineering team. So, the other day, it was probably a couple months ago, a friend of mine and I went on a retreat. And during this retreat, we discussed many ideas. We talked about a lot of various topics, but we kind of had this fundamental conversation on the perfect day. So it seems like a simple question, like, well, what is the perfect day? And I'm sure every single one of us would give a different answer. And we all have different meanings of what a perfect day is. And um, for some of us, it may be, sitting on a beach, reading a book. For other of us, it may be snowboarding, or perhaps it's the most productive that you've been in your job or in your career, or maybe it's an important day, such as the day your child was born, or the day that you met your significant other, or it could be anything, right? So I guess in in that context, it's impossible to plan for the perfect day, and maybe that's not the right way of phrasing it. You can't have an unlimited number of perfect days, and so then our conversation switched, right? And it switched to, okay, well, uh, uh, what is your best average day, right? So like if you had a perfect day at work, what does that look like, right? And uh, then we quickly realized that having a perfect day at work doesn't necessarily uh, match with your own personal goals, right? Like you could have been a rock star, and woke up at 7 a.m. Started right off the bat, being very productive, getting things done, uh, you know, kicking ass and taking names, and then get everything done. Eat a protein shake, never stop, go for a run, become energized, get back at it, whatever the result may be. Present to a large group of people, have it go flawlessly. All your demos worked, everything was great, and then get home and find some critical issues which have been uh, lurking forever. Be kind of the hero that saves the day, and finish work at uh, 10 p.m. Go to bed and do it all again. But obviously, if you optimize for work, then your home life suffers, and your family is neglected, or your health is neglected, and you may not be eating well, you may not be sleeping well, um, or I mean, in some regards, you want to be eating well and sleeping well in order to be productive at work, but that's a separate topic. So then the concept of work life balance came into play, and everybody's familiar with the theory of work life balance, and how you need to allocate enough time spend time with your family, do your personal activities, whether it be recreational sports, or unwinding, watching movies, enjoying hobbies, doing whatever it is that you like to do, that kind of recharges your mind and your brain, and like allows you and prepares you to continue to work, or to be the most effective at your job. And going down that route kind of reminded me of this book called Off Balance, and the main premise of the book was that there's going to be times when your work is going to be priority, and you're going to need to spend a lot of your time on your work and be like ultra focused there. And then there's going to be other times where your family is going to be your primary goal and your primary focus, and there may be third times where yourself and your personal growth may be the focus. And there's instances where, like, when you're having a new child, or you're moving to a new house, or whatever, you had a recent death in the family, and your personal needs will kind of consume your entire life, and your work productivity during those times is expected to suffer, and that's okay. And once you're through, whatever the scenario is or the situation, then you can resume your work and dedicate all your focus time to your work, and be more effective and more efficient there. So I agree with that. And coming back to the perfect day discussion, ultimately that kind of throws a wrench into the whole perfect day, because now there's going to be a broader time frame, right? So we kind of decoupled the discussions to that. Instead of looking at a specific window of time, like I wake up at 7, I work for X amount, I eat for X amount, I exercise, I work for X amount, and kind of blocking it down in the various time scale. Now those lines and those divisions of kind of the categories, or those segments of your day become less relevant, because you're going to kind of average it over a longer period. So I know that this is getting kind of long-winded, and ultimately it's leading me into the next part of this discussion, and that kind of goes into the components of your best ultimate performance, or your ultimate efficiency, whether it be at work, at life, at home, personally, across the board. And obviously, this is a very large topic, and there's a lot of content and avenues and areas that we can discuss and break down. But I wanted to do it in a way and a structure that always kind of comes back to the main goal, and that's to be the most optimal performing people that we can, or most optimal versions of ourselves. And so with that in mind, the structure of these videos, how I intend to do it is to segment it into small chunks. And the reason for that is because I've done some presentations in the past, and they've been recorded, and they've been hour. Usually I target an hour. I've done a couple courses that have been longer, couple hours or 3 hours. And the problem with that is there may be some concepts in that, and trying to find it and go back and refer to it becomes very difficult. Or if I want to send just a key message to one of my employees or a coworker or a friend, and say, hey, this is what's applicable to your situation. Trying to dig through an hour-long video and pull out that tidbit can be difficult. So that's why I'm not tying it all together live now. That also gives me a little bit of flexibility to come at this in an iterative approach, right? We all like agile, and doing an iterative approach, I can hone in on one specific domain, uh, you know, give the high level view, and then if I need to come back and dig into something a little bit further or expand on a specific topic within that subdomain, then can do that as well. So that being said, uh, we'll just stop here and we'll continue on in the next video.